What is going on, YouTube? Back at again another video. Just a quick update. I got the 5.4 Navigator motor from the Junkyard out of a early 2000, I believe it was 2003 Lincoln Navigator. Just a quick recap on my first video, which was pretty short and to the point. Single overhead cam, 4.6 liter V8. That's in a Ford F-150 2003 XLT. It had 265,000 miles, I believe so. Basically the problem with that is when I tore that down, is that the driver's side bank timing chain guide, completely exploded. Made its way down into the oil pan and clogged up the oil pump, which starved the motor. Had no oil pressure for who knows how long. That could have destroyed who knows what. Plus, this stock 4.6 single overhead cam is not what you would call a very high potential performance motor. Let's just say that. But I just got this motor today from the Junkyard. Only been maybe a couple of hours or so since I've had it. Just looking at it visually from what I know, my previous, I really don't have any experience, kind of just a garage nut, I guess you would say, just stuck in a garage. I don't have much. I just watch a whole lot of YouTube videos and read a lot of online articles about engines and performance and things like that. So some things, just about everything won't go over my head, but some of the small little detailed facts probably will, just because I don't know. But, everything's a learning experience. So I don't know how many miles the vehicle had, the motor I had pulled it, or the vehicle I pulled it out of, the Lincoln Navigator. I don't know how many miles it has, but just looking at the oil buildup and the coloration of the heads and the cams and just the whole color of the internals, I would say between maybe 190 and mid 200,000, maybe. I will check more when I break down the motor and get into the main bearings, the connecting rod bearings, and get in there and see everything. Just from what I know, the primary timing chain has really good tension, so that tells me, I believe so, it tells me that the primary timing chain tensioners, tongue twister, the primary timing chain tensioners are still good. I believe so. We'll look. The secondary chain tensioners also look good from what I've seen. The chain looks good. The wearing on the cams, that also looks good. Is that one? It's not even focus. Yeah, so those look good. This is the intake cam, the exhaust cam on the passenger side going to the driver's side. It's a little bit lighter of a coloration, more of a bronze. That was more of like a dark mocha. This is a lighter bronze. So, yeah, nice wearing on the cams, the lobes. Everything looks okay. I have to tear down the motor a little bit more to check the hydraulic lifters. If those don't have any spring back, I most definitely will be replacing those. Let me know in the comments if the stock early 2000 Lincoln Navigator 5.4, if the followers are good for any performance modification, or not even performance, any performance application, high RPM, power levels. Let me know if those are capable of handling anything above 500 horsepower, because that's where this motor will be at. Just from another quick observation on the passenger side of the block, the front two main cap bolts, side main bolts. Okay, we'll just go side main bolts. They're not there, so I definitely have to get those replaced. The driver's side still has all of the side main bolts on it. Looks good from what I've seen. it, well, not tearing into the motor just yet. From what I've seen, it has no head gasket leaks from what I can see, but it's not very wise to go off of visuals until you break down and get into the whole guts of the motor. So we'll wait until we get into that. And we'll see, I have the oil pan off, so I'll make another video showing you guys the complete internals, but this is just the initial, tear down, just initially looking at things. The oil pump is still in there, but the water pump, that's going to be completely gone. I don't even care about that since it's a junkyard motor. The harmonic balancer, that's going to be gone. Here are the valves. So initially what I had found was that there are oil in the spark plugs, and this is the passenger side. So with my initial observation, and also what I think, since there's that much oil, like you can't even see the spark plug. You can barely see this one. You can barely see this one. And you can just barely see that one. I don't know if you guys can see that. Try to get a little bit of light in there. Can't see that one, but it's a little bit better on the driver's side. That one's caked up with water and a little bit of oil. This has oil in it. You can barely see that one. This one is dry, and this one is dry. So from what I think, mechanically, I think either the compression rings and the oil rings or both have completely failed. And that is why there is nothing but oil in the cylinders. Or, honestly, I believe there could be bad, I can't forget what this was. Spark plug seals. I believe those went bad, and that's why oil is in there. That also could have not allowed the motor to turn over, bothered with the electrical. So when I was taking those out, the coil packs, covered in oil. Absolutely covered in oil. So definitely we'll be getting those brand new. Definitely getting those gaskets new. That's all I can see that's wrong with it until I can look and tear down the motor more. Just looking in the exhaust or the intake valves, they had water in this one. I kind of turned the motor over a little bit, kind of flushed it out a little bit, but the intake ports look good. This is the driver's side or passenger side, and this is the driver's side. That has water in it. That has debris in it. This one has actually this one's good. And that one's good. So everything looks okay from that point of view. Not really going to show you the exhaust valves because they're all dry, or they're dry. There's nothing really in them. Plus, getting down there will be awkward. I'll show you when I get the motor turned over, or flipped down, or rotated. That's what I was trying to say. After that, future plans for the motor. Stock crank. I'm still deciding on if I want a forged H-beam or forged I-beam rod for this motor, because I want this motor to be NA and pushing RPM. With the pistons, I am also in decision between JE and diamond piston. For high compression pistons, what I'm looking for at lowest is 12-to-1 compression ratio. Highest is between 13 to 14 compression ratio. This will be a NA build, obviously, and I will be pushing this to the max. From what I've seen, I don't see any YouTube videos, anything out there that's really, letting the 5.4 dual overhead cam motor shine NA. So that's what I'm going to be doing, and before I boost it, I'll get into that in another video, or make a separate video on my future plans, long-term plans with this motor, or this platform in specific. I'll get more into that in a different video because that's some pretty high-tech shit. After that, I got the whole rotating assembly, ARP main studs, ARP head studs, AccuFab secondary timing chains. Depending on the tensioners, those will get replaced depending on if they're good or not. Depending if the primary chains are good, we'll keep those. We may not. Oil pump. I don't care. Oil pump is going to be nice. Billet gears. I believe it was the GT500 3-valve oil pump, high flow. Whichever. Basically a badass oil pump for right now, the wet sump. Still thinking if I want a regular traditional water pump or I want an electric water pump. Also let me know if an electric water pump is good on the streets. Other than that, stage 5 NA cams from Comp Cams, stage 3 valve springs and retainers. The stainless steel retainers, 4330 stainless steel, or is that aluminum? I can't remember offhand. That's going to stay the same. I have the stock Navigator motor, or the stock Navigator manifold. So, just the stock. Basically get it from Junkyard stock, just stock everything. Don't really need to go into that one. Other than that, the traditional stainless steel long tube headers. I'll let you guys know what brand I go with on the long tube headers. But basically full straight pipe. Actually, I take that back. It's going to be long tube headers, catless downpipes, and it's going to have a small MagnaFlow muffler. That's it. I really get irritated when people say I have a straight pipe exhaust system and they have a muffler. Or, oh yeah, I'm straight piped, but I have catalytic converters. That irks me. Straight pipe mean it goes from the exhaust valves to the headers, and there's nothing. It goes straight out. There's nothing. Absolutely nothing. So that bothers me. It's not everyone, but some people do say that, so that bothers me. Other than that, I'm going to try when I get the heads and the block sent off after I get done visually inspecting things, on what I want to look for in the heads and the blocks, the bore etching, or the cylinder cross hatching, bearing clearance, or not bearing clearances, the wear on the bearings, the cam bearings, just look at the valves, basically taking everything. Everything's going to get taken apart. Take the valves out, take the springs out, cams out, everything. Everything's going to be taken apart. Whole build, top to bottom, after I clean everything up and put everything together. I will say this. I am going to try and port match the intakes, but I'm kind of hesitant on doing so because if this is an NA motor, over-porting the Navigator intake ports might be a bad thing. But since I'm running a stage 5 cams, we'll see. The exhaust ports, those are going to get ported out too. Those are going to get port matched, so we'll see. But I also fear with that, if I go too big, I also might lose horsepower. I believe if I port match the intake and exhaust, to the gaskets, basically that's what port match is. With stage 5 cams and the specific intake I might go with, I don't know that yet. In the long tube headers exhaust setup, we'll see on the power goals or the outcome with that. So we'll definitely have to wait and see how that comes out. But I definitely will be trying my hand in hand porting the intake ports and exhaust ports. Definitely going to do that. Polish the intake valves, exhaust valves, polish the valves, polish the combustion chamber. Basically do all I can that a garage dude can do. That's what we're going to do. Other than that, that's really it. Bigger injectors, E85. We'll see I will try and see if I can, absolutely try everything with the Navigator intake. I will push it to its limits because I don't want to be like some people and just completely throw it away and just not use it. I most definitely will be using the valve that's right here. So I have it closed. I don't really feel like opening it. But it basically opens and closes, and I lower RPMs. It makes the intake manifold and the motor act like it's a longer intake runner than what it actually is. And at higher RPMs, it opens so it can act more as a shorter intake manifold. So that's one thing that really drew me to the Navigator intake and the also motor itself. So that's also another thing that I liked about it. I mean, yeah, that's really much it. I will be running E85, obviously. I will see if those if a high compression piston will be able to safely run 93 octane. Might have to add a little bit of octane booster to it. I don't know yet. We'll get into that, as I have to stress that I am also learning as I go. So definitely let you guys know that I'm learning as I go. E85 upgraded injectors, upgraded throttle body. Since it is an oval throttle body, definitely going to get a bigger dual. So what I've heard is that a single blade throttle body is more for top end and just wide open, basically drag racing purposes. I don't know how that is on the streets, but I also know from what I've heard and read that the dual blades is really good on the street. So we're definitely gonna try the dual blades out, and if I get in the future, I'll try out the single blades and we'll see how that works. Don't know if it will mate up to this, but we'll see if it works with my overall setup. I don't know if I'm gonna port this one. We'll see. EGR delete already coming. I don't care about that. Half the vacuum crap on here will be capped off. I will do that from the get-go. Upgraded injectors, obviously the exhaust. With that being said, upgraded oil pump, water pump, the usual. I don't know if I want to go with the billet timing set. I personally think that might be a waste of money if you're not pushing more than 1,000. That's what I believe so. But I'll also get that looked at and research that as well. After that, the usual full bolt-ons, E85, head work. Use that intake manifold for now. I mean, that's really much it. The truck is still stock. It has the stock 4-speed trans that will, honestly, after I get because I want to manual swap it. I don't know what manual transmission I want. I've been looking at G-Forces and Tremec 6 speeds and the G-Force 5 speeds or 4-speed dog box. That shit would be beautiful. But it will be manual transmission. I don't know if I want Force 5 speed. I'm still also, thinking about that. Definitely it has a stock fuel system. I'm definitely gonna have to switch that out, and I am going to get a 40-gallon fuel cell, put it in the back of the truck for weight distribution. It's also lowered. And that's just about it. And it's just lowered, and I fucked up the exhaust by taking it to a muffler shop and having cut off the mufflers and cats. So I mean that's pretty much it. It's mainly a stock motor, but this is the start of the journey. And yeah, that's really much it. I don't know if I want to go with a performance harmonic balancer. We'll also see. Oh, I forget the biggest thing. For short term, I will be putting an upgraded oil pump in there, but for maybe the next year or so, I will be going dry sump. And there are no videos out there on like an actual video of a dry sump system on a mod motor or just a mod motor in general, especially with Ford. So I want to be the first to bring that content to YouTube, because I was a little bit hurt, looking for dry sump systems, just looking for information, see what everyone does, and there's nothing. You got a couple of informational videos just about how dry sump works and things like that, the basic shit, telling you how it works. But I actually want to see someone have it on an engine working basically how it would be. I will show you in-depth videos on that, and we'll go from there. This thing will be dry sump. It'd be badass. So minimum, I'm pushing for maybe 450, 500. I don't know if it'll make more or less. We'll see. But that's definitely what I want. I want 450, 500 NA. from the motor, obviously. I don't know how it will be towards the wheels. And then after that, I most definitely will be doing NOS between a 200, 250, and a 400 shot. But I have to get a better trans, or I have to get a built trans that will stand up to that. So, when I do have that trans ready to go into the truck, I will send off the automatic transmission as anyone else would do by blowing that bitch to bits and then throwing a manual swap afterwards. So, it's definitely what we're going to get to. Yeah, I really want a 4-door. At first, I wanted a 4-door Lightning, but I also like the 4-door because it's longer. It's better at top speeds. I like going fast. I also want it to be quick too, but I also like going fast. I'm not really that big into drag racing. I like top speed. I want to go to half miles, standing miles, roll racing on highways. Obviously in Mexico. Come on now. That's really all I really want to do is kind of that top end stuff. I don't really care about losing torque down low. Especially if I'm not in it, I don't really care about it. It would be nice to have, but don't really care about it because I definitely want to just send people to Gapplebee's and fuck up their whole entire world. So that's what we're gonna do. I will give you guys another update. Tearing into the bottom end, showing you guys, and giving you guys an in-depth video on a Navigator motor. So this will be. Oh yeah, I definitely set this thing up. It was janky. I did what I had to do. Yeah, it won't be like this again. I promise, at all. Because this is unacceptable. Oh, and look at this shit in here. This almost made me throw up. It was horrible. Oh, and I completely forgot. So, getting so sidetracked. I want to know what this is. Let me know in the comments what this is. I want to know what that is. That might be a coolant sensor. I don't know. But let me know. Because I want to know everything. The color. After I clean this up, wire brush it, get everything nice, this will be wrinkle black. The block, I want to be white. I know, but I want it to be white. And I'm going to paint on it, and I'm going to initial and stuff like that. I want to get real personal with this. Because I want this to be very personal. This is very personal. This is my first motor, and I want this to be the best. The heads, I will also clean those up. It won't look like this. I'll clean those up. I will paint these. I don't know if I want to paint these. I don't know. I don't know if I want to leave them just raw aluminum, or do I want to go with a black wrinkle or wrinkle black for the heads? We'll see. The valve covers will definitely be wrinkle black, or I will go with a wrinkle red. That might be nice. And I can't leave the nasty ass looking intake manifold alone. Definitely clean this up. Everything will be cleaned up. I promise. Everything will be cleaned up. And this might be wrinkle red also, or wrinkle black. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, and getting back to intake, because I kind of left that one out. I want a Viper intake for this one. The dual Viper intake, I want that. Because I'm going to get a snorkel hood, or either a snorkel hood or a louvered hood. I don't know. But I do want that, because that will be different, and that shit will be cool. And I definitely have those linked up to each snorkel. Oh, that shit will be badass. Just wait. This shit will be badass. So, that's it. I'll keep you guys posted. Stay positive. Oh, 2020 is almost over. So, just hold it out. 2021's around the corner. I hope 2021 is a better year, because 2020 has been a complete shit. For me, for the family, for everyone. I'm pretty sure it's been that way all over the world. But it's just shit. So, this is the beginning for you, boy. Stay safe.